And now I'm back at Matt and Elise's house. Elise being my nutritionist and Matt being my trainer. And now they're going to stick needles in me, and no, not really. They're going to do something with the machine that tells them some more information, but Elise will fill you in on what that machine is. So off we go.
Rich, so what we're going to do is a very easy, painless test called a VLA test. So it's checking your body composition. So we've put you on the scales, but what we want to do is actually monitor your body a little bit more closely as we go through this whole journey. So the main things I'm going to be looking at with this is your fat mass and your muscle mass to see how they change over the next few months, and a little bit about your cellular health as well. So we've already weighed you. Do you know how tall you are in centimetres?
No.
No, that's all right. I'll get you to stand against the wall and we'll figure you out. 193 centimetres. Beautiful. All right, now when we do the test, you need to be lying flat on your back.
Okay.
So, however...
You want to do that now? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
If you're ready, take a seat and just try and lie down and chill out for a minute or two. And what's your date of birth?
7th of the 5th, 72. I must be nervous doing this or something. I've got all clammy.
Yeah?
I don't know, that sort of hasn't happened to me in years.
Just it's something different, but
yeah.
We stick the electrodes on your hands and your feet and it sends a current through and it takes like 1 second. And it spits out some numbers and then I enter that into the computer. So you don't feel anything. Nothing to be afraid of. This will also tell us your fluid, how much fluid you're holding, which is going to be good to track as well.
That should be interesting.
Because that's what would be hard, because if you were just hopping on the scales, like the fluid and things can be changing so much from day to day that we won't really know whether you've lost fat, which is what we want to know. And once you start training as well, you know, I would guess that because of how much weight your body's walking around every day and actually working and being active, you're going to have a hell of a lot of muscle under there.
Yeah.
So once you start training, that muscle mass is going to increase, you're going to get stronger, and because muscle weighs more than fat, you might not have the numbers go down on the scale very much, but you might have actually lost a fair bit of fat. Well, what will come up on this, so it tells me obviously fat mass, and it tells me what they call active tissue mass. So active tissue can be muscles, or active tissue can be what we call visceral fat. So you've got fat that sits under your skin that we call subcutaneous fat. Then you've got fat that is actually further deep inside and it sits around your organs, and it's a really dense kind of fat. That kind of fat can look like muscle on this test. So what I suspect is going to happen is that the fat's going to be obviously way over, your muscle's going to be maybe 20 or 30 kilos over as well. Once you start training, that number's going to go down, the active tissue. Now, you're not going to look at that and think, oh my gosh, I'm losing muscle, which we don't want. What you'll find is it'll be that visceral fat that's starting to get burnt away. So both your fat and your muscle numbers will go down to start with, but that's normal for someone your size. You know, it's more so probably when you're 50 kilos or so away from your goal weight, where most of that visceral fat will be gone, we'll want to start to see that muscle actually go back up. Which is actually building that good skeletal muscle that, you know, gives you that muscle tone and gets you, you know, looking good, looking ripped. Beautiful. Okay, so I will show you what we've got, and I don't know if it'll come out the computer screen, it might not come out on camera. So looking at your bone structure, roughly they say you should be around 95 to 100 kilos. Okay. Now keep in mind that this test is saying that if you were a hunter-gatherer who exercised all day long and ate, you know, a pure paleo diet and you were incredibly lean, you'd weigh 95 kilos. Like a lot of people's aim is to get just within, say, 10 or 20 of that. For example, like I'm right on my ideal right now, which means if I put 1 kilo on, this would say I'm a kilo overweight. Like that's how strict they are. So although in your head 95 might not be realistic, you know, it's just probably the lightest it would ever want you to get. So, you know, that might not be our goal, obviously, but we can work that out at another time. Okay, so then we look at fat mass and muscle mass. So like I said before, both of them are way over where your minimum and maximum should be. This has seen roughly about 90 kilos of fat to lose and about 40 kilos of active tissue you could afford to lose.
Okay.
So that 40 kilos, a lot of that's just stomach, and then there's around 90 of that subcutaneous fat that's sitting under the skin. So we're going to see both of those go down for probably at least 6 months, and then what we want to see is the fat to continue to go down and the active tissue to kind of stabilize, and then once you're getting really, really fit and strong, that kind of creeps up again.
Okay.
Which is good. This is a bit about the health of your cells. So obviously, being the size you are, there's lots of issues with toxins and things like that. So the quality of the muscle cells and the cells in general are at the poor end, but this is just our baseline. We just now want to make sure that whatever we're doing, the numbers are getting better. Dehydrated, so definitely need to be drinking more water. And at the moment, bio age is 90 years old. That's something that we obviously want to get down much closer than what your real age is, because you're only 39.
Now, with the hydration side of things, would that be affected the fact that I'm full of a flu at the moment?
Right. What this means is that you're probably not putting enough water in your mouth, but it also means that the water is sitting outside the cells rather than inside the cells.
Right.
Okay. So what I've actually can see here is that you've got about 40 litres of water that's outside the cell when it should be inside the cell.
Right.
So your cells are dehydrated, but the rest of your body is overhydrated. The water's in the wrong place, which is what you can feel in your ankles and all that sort of stuff. Now, the only way we're going to get the water to go back into the cell where we need it to be is to make the cell healthier.
Right.
And that'll happen when the fat starts to come off and we start to get really good nutritious food into you. So there's no quick fix. I can't give you a tablet to make you pee more and get rid of that extra fluid, because that's just going to make your cells even more dehydrated. Right. So all we want to see is to slowly see the water go back into the cells, but that's going to be a month to month process as well. So yeah, I mean, it's what we expected. It's just our baseline. It's going to get better from here. So we'll just keep testing it and just make sure that every time we're doing it, that the hard work you've been doing is actually paying off. That you're getting healthier on the inside.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Cool. I'm excited.
Good.